Hello again. It's August 28th and time for Proverbs 28. So, still in the Proverbs that King Hezekiah's men copied out for the king, right, from Solomon's notes. Okay. And we've heard it before. Some of it we've heard before from Solomon himself. Right. Verse 1, like snow in summer or rain in harvest, so honor is not fitting for a fool. Right. Like a sparrow in its flitting, like a swallow in its flying, a curse that is causeless does not alight. Now, that's kind of important. Right? Summer curses you and there's no cause. It does no good. Okay, if you're protected, my God. Okay? A whip for the horse and a bridle for the donkey and a rod for the backs of fools. News for fools, right? Now, these two next verses are confusing, okay, because they're worded exactly the same but mean different things. Okay? Answer not a fool according to his folly or foolishness, lest you be like him yourself. And verse 5 says, answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes. Oh, which is it, right? Okay, and over here, there's some notes in the 1599 Geneva. Consent not unto him in his doings, right? But answer him. Reproof him as the matter requireth, lest he be wise in his own eyes, or conceit. So if they're just talking stupid stuff, you don't want to get into that. Okay, you don't want to get into the just stupid stuff. But if they're, if they're leading people astray as far as God, the Bible, truth, you have to correct him. Okay. And I would just suggest praying first and letting the Holy Spirit guide your words, because He will. 6, whoever sends a message by the hand of a fool cuts off his own feet and drinks violence. Never send a fool to do a job you want done right. 7, like a lame man's legs which hang useless is a proverb in the mouth of fools. Right? Tell somebody something, they don't care, they don't listen. It's useless, right? 8, like one who binds a stone in the sling is one who gives honor to a fool. Does no good, right? Like a thorn that goes up into the hand of a drunkard is a proverb in the mouth of fools. Really down on the fools today, right? Like an archer who wounds everyone is one who hires a passing fool or a drunkard. Right. Now, this is highlighted because, okay, most other versions say this, like an archer who wounds everyone is one who hires a passing fool or drunkard. 1599, okay, this is before the Dead Sea Scrolls were found. Yeah. It says something totally different. The excellent that formed all things both rewardeth the fool and rewardeth the transgressors. Okay? Just for kicks, I'll get my great big parallel Bible here. We will look up. Boy, those letters. Okay. Back of the page. 128. Oh, 6. The wrong chapter here. We'll find it. There we go. We're in our big Bible here. New Living says an employer who hires a fool, right? Archer who wounds at random, that's New International. Okay, now the King James and the New King James, which were when the King James went out was 1611. And it says the great God that formed all things both rewardeth the fool and rewardeth the transgressors. So the older Bibles, right, agree with 1599 Geneva Bible, which verse 10 cite the excellent, meaning God, that formed all things, both rewards the fool and rewards the transgressors. I mean, did they find a change? Did they find something to change that? Because the newer Bibles all say, agree, you know, archer who wounds everyone is one who hires a passing fool or drunkard. No. Do some research into that, okay? See why they changed it. 11, like a dog that returns to his vomit is a fool who repeats his folly. Right. Kind of gross to think about, huh? But fools are foolish, aren't they? 12, do you see a man who is wise in his own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for him. Now, all these verses were about fools, right? And how they're useless and helpless and they're good for only being beat. You can't tell them anything, they never listen. Right? Whoever sends a message by the hand of a fool, like a lame man's lecture saying, useless is a proverb in the mouth of fools, like one who binds a stone into a sling is one who gives honor to a fool. Right? Like a thorn that goes up into the hand of a drunkard is a proverb in the mouth of fools. Right? Like an archer who wounds everyone is one who hires a passing fool. Like a dog returns to his vomit is a fool who repeats his folly. All this stuff about fools, right? A rod for the back of fools. Honor is not fitting for a fool. Okay? Now, look at verse 12. Do you see a man wise in his own eyes, conceited, haughty, arrogant, prideful? There is more hope for a fool than for him. See, and you read all this other stuff about fools all over Proverbs, and you read something like this. There is more hope for a fool than for somebody who is wise in his own eyes, or conceited, prideful, arrogant, haughty. All those words fit. Right? Interesting, huh? The sluggard says there's a lion in the road. There's a lion in the streets. And we've read this 2 or 3 times by Solomon. Right? And somebody is so lazy, they make excuses because they don't want to go out. Now, the rest of this is lazy people. As the door turns on its hinges, so does a sluggard on his bed, right? Never goes anywhere, just moves. Okay? The sluggard buries his hand in the dish. It wears him out to bring it back to his mouth. Imagine being that lazy. The sluggard is wiser in his own eyes than 7 men who can answer sensibly. Right? You ever checked a lazy person? I mean, really lazy? They got an excuse for everything. Okay? They think they're right about everything. Okay. Different stuff. 17, whoever meddles in a quarrel not his own is like one who takes a passing dog by the ear. Right? Stay out of other people's fights unless somebody is, I have exceptions. If somebody is mistreating or beating a child or a woman, okay, sometimes it calls for you to step in, right? But if there's just a couple of dudes fighting over there, you don't want to get involved in that. They'll both end up beating you up, okay? Because you're getting into their business. Right? Mind your own business. 18 and 19 go together. Like a madman who throws firebrands, arrows, and death is a man who deceives his neighbor and says, I am only joking, or I was just kidding, dude, right? That's like somebody firing a gun into a crowd. Okay? There's one who deceives his neighbor, your friend, deceives him, lied to him, cutting him down just for a laugh, and then says, I'm only joking, okay? Those are words. Words can break bones, remember? 20, for a lack of wood, a fire goes out. Where there is no whisperer, gossiper, whisperer, quarreling ceases, right? All the rumor mills and the gossip flying around. If people stop spreading that around, stop feeding it, it'll go away. Okay? Where there is no gossiper, quarreling ceases. That's very important. Okay? I call them whisper tale bearers, people that spread rumors, right? 21 is charcoal to hot embers and wood to fire. So is a quarrelsome man for kindling strife. Right? Be the one who does this, who feeds that fire. The words of a gossiper, whisperer, are like delicious morsels that go down into the inner parts of the body, right? Gossip and rumors are addicting, and that kind of stuff. I mean, I have known people that are so addicted to gossip, right? They can't function in life. I'm like, did you hear what happened to so-and-so? Oh, no. Does that have anything to do with it? No. Do you even know that person? No. Then why are you spreading it around? Okay. Do you know if it's true or not? Well, so-and-so said it was. That doesn't mean it's true. Right? It's $1 billion industry now. Okay. Probably more than that. I just made up that number. Maybe trillions even. Right? If you think of all the social media and the news and the reality television, it's all gossip. Okay. I mean, billions, because it's addictive, right? You gotta get away from that. If it's not your business, don't make it your business, right? Okay. That's kind of a soapbox of mine, right? 23, like the glaze covering an earthen vessel are fervent lips with an evil heart. What's that say over here? A silver dross overlaid upon a potsherd, so are burning lips and an evil heart. They will soon break out and utter themselves. Right. Like a beautiful covering on a dirt vessel are fervent lips with an evil heart. Now, there's a lot of, I hate to say it, a lot of politicians like this, right? Fervent lips. And I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And I care about this when they don't. They have an evil heart. They're in it to enrich themselves. Okay. 24, 25, and 26 goes together. Whoever hates disguises himself with his lips and harbors deceit in his heart. Whoever hates. Right? He that hateth will counterfeit with his lips, but his heart he layeth up deceit. Right? When he speaks graciously, don't believe him. For there are 7 abominations in his heart. Though his hatred be covered with deception, his wickedness will be exposed in the assembly. Right. Let's read that all together. Whoever hates disguises himself with his lips and harbors deceit in his heart. So there's a semicolon. When he speaks graciously, believe him not. For there are 7 abominations in his heart. Though his hatred be covered with deception, his wickedness will be exposed in the assembly. Sooner or later, these people trip up, right? Hey, 27. Whoever digs a pit will fall into it, and a stone will come back on him who starts it rolling. Right? You start trouble or set a trap, usually you're the one that's going to get caught. Right? 28. A lying tongue hates his victims, and a flattering mouth works ruin. Right? A lying tongue hates his victims. Right? If your representatives are lying to you, do you think they like you and care about you and want to represent you? No. They hate their victims. Right? So there you go. That's 28. We highlighted in here. 2 is highlighted. Like a sparrow in its flitting and a swallow in its flying, a curse that is causeless does not alight or land. Right? Shall not come. Right? Somebody's cursing you and you're covered by the blood of Jesus. Yeah, don't worry about it. Just let them talk. Right? Okay, and these 2. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest you be like him yourself. Okay? And answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes. All right? And it even says the same thing in the older versions. All right? This is one of the oldest ones. Answer not a fool according to his foolishness, lest thou be like him. Answer a fool, all right? Reprove him as the matter requireth, according to his foolishness, lest he be wise in his own conceit or eyes. So, just know when, right? Most of the time, just let them talk, walk away. But if they cross a line, okay, you gotta say something. All right, and all this talk about fools, okay? All right? Whoever sends a message by the hand of the fool cuts off your own feet, right? Commands wedge exchange useless. Proverb in the mouth of fools. One who binds a stone in a sling is one who gives honor to a fool. Like a thorn to hedges, like a thorn that goes up into the hand of a drunkard is a proverb in the mouth of fools, right? 10. Like an archer who hires everyone is one who hires a passing fool or a drunkard. Okay? And that's highlighted because the older versions, all right, like we've said, all the older versions, King James, New King James, 1599, older than the King James, says something different, right? Meaning God, the excellent, that formed all things, both rewardeth the fool and rewardeth the transgressors, right? Interesting. But let's talk about fools, right? Like a dog that returns to his vomit is a fool that repeats his folly. All this fools, right? And then 12. Do you see a man wise in his own eyes, right? Conceited, arrogant, haughty, prideful. There is more hope for a fool than for him. That's a big statement after all this about fools. There's more hope for a fool, right? And it establishes up here that there is absolutely no hope for fools, okay? So there's more hope for a fool than a man who is prideful, wise in his own eyes, conceited, arrogant. Okay? You need to pray for the Lord to make you humble, right? Okay, 17 is highlighted. Whoever meddles in a quarrel not his own is like one who takes a passing dog by the ears. Right. Mind your own business, right? That's what that says. Mind your own business. 18 and 19, like a madman who throws firebrands, arrows, and death is a man who deceives his neighbor and says, I'm only joking, right? It'll say over here like, am I not in sport, right? Deceiveth his friend. Right. People that joke at your expense aren't your friends, okay? They care more about themselves and how they look. And right? Don't do that. Okay. And this is about gossiping, okay? For lack of wood, the fire goes out, and where there is no whisperer or gossiper, quarreling ceases. As charcoal to hot embers and wood to fire, so is a quarrelsome man for kindling strife. The words of a whisperer or gossip are like delicious morsels. They go down into the inner parts of the body. People love to hear this stuff, okay? Whether it's true or not, they don't know. They love to hear it because it's not, they don't have to worry about their own situations, right? It'll break up churches. It breaks up friendships, right? Tears people apart. Gossip. Okay. 23 is highlighted. I don't know why. Like the glaze covering earth and vessel are fervent lips with an evil heart. Whoever hates disguises himself with his lips and harbors deceit in his heart. When he speaks graciously, don't believe him not. For there are 7 abominations in his heart. Though his hatred be covered with deception, his wickedness will be exposed in the assembly. This goes into it. A lying tongue hates its victims, and a flattering mouth works ruin. You just put this all together, huh? Let's put this whole thing together. Right? There's some politician. Some people hate people, okay? There's a very famous person, right, who hates people. He wants to kill people. He wants less people on the earth. Okay? I'm not mentioning any names, but whoever hates disguises himself with his lips and harbors deceit in his heart. When he speaks graciously, don't believe him. For there are 7 abominations in his heart. Though his hatred be covered with deception, his wickedness will be exposed in the assembly. Whoever digs a pit will fall into it, and a stone will come back on him who starts it rolling. A lying tongue hates its victims, and a flattering mouth works ruin. Trouble is some of these people have a lot of money. You know, whether they earned it honestly or not is not important, but some people have a lot of money. People worship money, okay? So money will buy you respect. Right? It'll buy you airtime, and people will listen to you. And even though you hate and you want to secretly destroy the world, right? It will be found out eventually. Right? It describes them. So, right. It's Proverbs 28. So there's only one more chapter of King Hezekiah's men. The Proverbs they copied down from Solomon. And then we have Aggers, verse 30, and then 31. Wow. Right. Right, this is 26, 27, 28, 28. Oh, it's 3 more. Okay. I don't know. I was thinking it was the 28th. It's 26th. All right. So we have 27, 28, 29. So we have 3 more chapters of Aggers, of Hezekiah's men. Hired men to search out Solomon's Proverbs. It's a wise thing to do. That's what we're doing, right? We're searching out Solomon's Proverbs, right? Stay tuned later today. We are in, we're in 1 Corinthians, okay? Getting towards the end of it, okay? And it's Paul talking to the Corinthians, which might as well be talking to the Americans because they lived a very similar, okay? They were very similar in their doings and their beliefs. And so stay tuned for that. Give us a like if you think about it. And we'll continue this tomorrow. See you then.